Hello TCG and Lorcana enthusiasts, and welcome to yet another Lorcana gameplay review. We are once again here at Mario's Twitch channel, link down in the description below if you want to check out the original video, as you will be listening to my audio. And also if you want to check out the Luxury Lorcana Locals event held every Monday. Again, those events are full proxies allowed and free of charge. So come check it out. So anyways, we are looking at the deck profile did this past Wednesday of the Aggro Amber Amethyst Stitch that I got inspired by to utilize from Mario. So it's not the updated deck profile I mentioned in my original Amber Amethyst Stitch deck profile. So once again, if you guys like these gameplay reviews and you want me to review more of Mario's gameplay, or more of the games on this channel, make sure to leave me a like, and if I get 10 likes, I will start doing more gameplay videos. Any 10 likes on any one of these gameplay videos, and I will do that for you. So anyways, let's talk about this. We have, of course, over here, Eric Thompson. I'm not sure if I got his last name right or wrong, but he is playing Amber Steel, which again, is not an easy deck for this deck to win against. Steel has the ability to just do massive amounts of damage out of the middle of nowhere with Grab Your Swords, Big Tinkerbell, Fire the Cannons, Smash, and they're able to wipe out the weenies that this deck can produce. Now, it's unfavorable. It's not impossible, but it's unfavorable to win with this aggro deck. As we see my opponent starting off here, of course, inking a Simba to do with Simba, and now he's going to draw and discard. He's going to discard Surfer Stitch. But it's not impossible for this deck to win. It's just going to be an uphill battle. It's the reason why it is unfavorable. So I'm going to ink one. I'm going to put out the Maleficent, and I am going to pass. This is the 1-drop Maleficent. That is 1/1, quest for 2, non-inkable. So anyways, I pass it over to my opponent here. Now, a great combo to follow this up with is to summon out the Simba. So you quest with it, and then you'll bring out the Simba to protect it. In essence, there's nothing that can hit it this turn. Anyways, we have the non-singer Ariel here. She just basically quests for 2, and she cannot sing. So you can never have that Ariel ever sing. Thematic for the fact that Ariel doesn't have her voice. So we can see here as I quest and then show my own Simba as well. So basically, in essence, doing the exact combo that he did, except I claimed 2 lore while he only claimed 1 lore. But still, nonetheless, very, very good. This is what you want to see. You don't want to quest with this Maleficent or even the Lilo if you don't have the Simba. Because it'll be an easy target for your opponent to knock out. He's going to smash because, you know, sometimes you can't hope to see the smashes in there. So you got to play, in the Steel matchup, you have to play as if they have their removal cards like Smash, Grab Your Swords, and Fire the Cannons. But sometimes you also have to play that, you know, they have to utilize those cards. So it's not great that I'm now at basically nothing. Again, Steel just easily eats this deck apart. Because what you're going to see a lot of times with this aggro Stitch deck is the fact that if you end up basically not capable of keeping your board alive, you're just going to find out that there's nothing you can do about it. Now, there is a way to mitigate that, and it's just called weenie spam, where you just spam all your 1 and 2 drops all over the board. The one problem in a Steel deck is that that's a wide board presence, and Steel doesn't care about that. As we can see, here's Fire the Cannon. It deals 2 damage to 1 character. It's going to knock out the Lilo, and then he's just going to quest for 2 here. So, in essence, he's already way past me in lore. So again, the nature of playing against starting out and playing against one of my most unfavorable matchups. So anyways, I'm going to play some friends. It's a Pot of Greed, folks. What does Pot of Greed do? Let me know down in the comments. But anyways, I'm going to sing it. I'm going to just play it or cast it, basically, in essence. Pay its cost. Do it. I'm going to put down the... I'm going to, of course, I do mess up here, and lucky enough, I do state that I was going to put it in Bodyguard, so I do put it in Bodyguard. That way, of course, I'm protecting this Maleficent. But yes, I do protect the Maleficent. I do put in the Simba bodyguarded. Not that it really matters. Again, 3-4 smash ends it. But anyways, this is a very, very good combo here, what he's about to do. So he's going to bring in, he's going to he's going to send his Simba into my Simba, dealing 2 damage. Then he's going to immediately heal that 2 damage off with Rapunzel and heal 2. Very good combo. Very good combo indeed. So that card there is actually the discard card. It's very interesting how many people on like Pixelborn who are playing this deck are playing it. It's a 4 cost. Your opponent must have 2 cards, and then they discard 2 cards. It's kind of annoying. So anyways, we're going to have the Ariel here. She looks at the top 4 and grabs a song. Unfortunately, I didn't hit a song. It's a little sad. It's a good thing my opponent's Ariel hits a song for him. Anyways, I'm going to then tap 1 and bring out a Pascal. I think I did it with the Lantern. And then I'm just going to quest here. I know I'm just throwing this away, but again, the philosophy is that he has to send one of his guys into the Maleficent, and instead of questing with it, he could just send into do it. But it doesn't really matter when you got the swords coming on out here and knocking out my weenies again. Just the power of steel. Again, my deck's most unfavorable matchup next to Ruby. Now, Ruby is not completely unfavorable. You can win it if you ramp fast enough. If you can aggro fast enough against it, you are fine. Ruby really only starts having a problem once it hits 7. Once it hits 7, you are pretty much done. Do not go wide, play only a guy or 2, and then see if your opponent will board wipe. Problem is that that's just how it wins, and most of the times you might not get enough aggro on a Ruby deck to basically push a win but before your opponent has 7 ink. So anyways, he's going to pay 3 here to do part of your world. In my deck profile, I did mention that maybe that should be in this deck, especially if you lose, say, your big Stitch, and it goes over here into the drop, or into your banish area, or your trash, or whatever you want to call it. Just utilizing it to then bring it back, so you can constantly always make sure you're having your engine going. Now, I just quest once again. Again, the philosophy is that he has to come swinging in. He has to come do the damage. It won't really matter. It looks like he's about to play a big Tinkerbell, and there goes the Maleficent and the Lilo. And then 1 there, but it's not going to matter. It's just going to be hit over by the Stitch, and I have no cards in hand, by the way, as we now apparently lose ourselves. Thank you, Mario, for that. But anyways, yeah, I just don't have anything. I think I'm going to be scooping it up here soon, just because the fact is, I just don't think I have a win condition as I throw out a chicken. Well, the chicken might win me something. He ain't going to win me a lot. One lore against my opponent, who's quickly showing off that he's gaining lore, as another Tinkerbell is dropped down to the field. But lucky enough, this Tinkerbell can't fully wipe out this 𝐒𝐒, but that is still 2 lore. He spammed lore faster than I could do anything, and I'm just going to enter Scoop Phase. Alright, on to game number 2, folks. So anyways, I'm going to be taking the play because I want to try to set up my aggro before he just starts knocking it all out of the board. Now, it doesn't really matter because unfortunately I just don't get fast enough, an aggro fast enough to see it. Both games, and throughout most of this night, I did not see my Stitch engine. Now, when I mulligan in this deck, I mulligan away everything that isn't part of the Stitch. Stitch, Rockstar, Lantern. Most of the time I try to keep, say, a 1 cost or even a Simba in my hand and just quest it all away, because what I'm looking for is to just get my engine. That's my entire engine. So anyway, my opponent didn't put anything down with his 1 ink. Now he's going to go 2 here. He's going to put out the Simba. Again, now I have to be cautious of the fact that there's a Simba now on the board. Now, this is the game where I'm going to show you the power of Ariel in Steel Amber. And why, if anything, if you see an Ariel, you need to go after it because of the fact that it's going to be lethal to you. Ariel is a Singer 5. So in essence, that means that swords, which can be sung for 5 cost, is basically being sung for free on a 2/3 body. And yeah, not fun when a 2/3 body can start singing a 5 cost song that deals 2 damage to the board. Anyways, But again, he has to hit it off for effect, which he does. So now I know for a fact he has it in his hand. Now, this should be a priority 1 target. But the problem is, as you can see, I don't have a way to right now knock it out. I could swing this and then this to then knock out this, and then maybe if he forced to sing, then I could win. But anyways, he's going to do Be Our Guest, get Big Tinkerbell into his hand. But again, I just don't have enough big hitters on the board to like come into this Simba so that I knock out his bodyguard. Now, it is very possible, but the problem is next turn he would just simply sing, grab your swords, and just knock out the entirety of the board. Again, in this game, you can't go wide in any way, and I screw up really bad here in the late game where I go wide and don't respect anything here. So anyways, I'm going to play the Mickey Mouse because I'm just basically here to punch stuff. Now, again, like I said, maybe it had been better idea to simply swung and just quested for 2 and still had everything, and then basically in essence force him to sing with the aerial and then have some way to remove the Mickey Mouse, because then I would just swing the Mickey Mouse over the aerial. Now, thinking that's probably would have been the better option in the end. Yes, I still have to take the 2 damage. Yes, here we go, remove all the weenies. Again, just the nature of how this deck likes to work. As we see, smash, remove the Mickey Mouse. Now, in essence, that wasn't great, because I basically had nothing. I think I had a Rapunzel in my hand, because I think I was going to use it to heal the Mickey Mouse and then get it, but I don't think I actually had it. I don't think I actually had a Rapunzel. I'm going to go with some friends here to then draw 2. Of course, I'm casting friends. My Simba, of course, is just here to absolutely die to anything, because again, Big Tinkerbell is a 6 cost. So anyways, I'm going to sing instead of quest here just so I can look at the top 4, find something I need. I'm just going to get the big Rockstar Stitch, which is sad because I actually, put the little Stitch in the inkwell, but I think I could either have done Friends, and I think Friends drew me into Be Our Guest. So there's not really much else I can really do here. Just watch him punch over my Simba, which I think he does with the aerial. I think he punches the aerial over the Simba, quest with the Simba, and then yeah. In essence, in this game, it shows like the harder nature of while this deck is unfavorable against this deck, while the ability of Steel is just to knock out my deck, knock out my entire field. Big Tinkerbell does it. Grab Your Swords does it, and as I said, the nature of this aerial just does it so nicely. So anyways, we have the Hans coming on down here. Again, when he quests, he just deals 1 damage to anything on the board. That is correct, just any 1 damage on the board. Anyways, I'm going to tap the Lantern to gain 1 more, pay 5, bring out the Stitch here. Again, he's down to a 5 cost thanks to the Lantern, so I had the 5 ink there, so I'm going to bring him out. Basically, in essence, that starts my engine. Now, this isn't a great thing because, again, I think if I had knocked out the Simba, I think I could have threatened this aerial very differently. Because he would have had to have another blocker before I think he would dare to sing. So anyways, he's going to bring out the Big Tinkerbell here. I don't have anything in my deck to remove this. This Tinkerbell is actually more annoying because it actually hurts this deck's entire engine and game plan. Is because the fact that all my guys come in exerted, and Big Tinkerbell, when she banishes something, she deals 2 damage to anything else on the board. So Hans quested, he deals a damage here. As you see here, I'm just going to begin what I call pretty much my entire deck's engine. So anyways, I'm going to start the Brooms. We do joke about how he thinks the Brooms actually puts the card on the bottom of the deck, and I actually read him the card. Brooms actually is the only card that shuffles a card back into your deck. No other color has that ability. No other color. Amethyst is the only way to shuffle cards back into your deck. All the rest don't have that ability in any way. Now, I'm going to begin, of course, now the engine here. The problem is, again, I didn't think really about the Tinkerbell. I think I was just trying to go wide. In essence, if I go too too wide on him, maybe in essence he won't be able to do anything about it. Again, I think if this Simba hadn't been here, I would have crashed this Stitch or forced him never to actually do anything with this aerial until he was secure that there's nothing that could hurt it. Again, I'm choosing whether or not to quest with the Stitch, whether to keep it up on the board and just, keep it all fine and dandy, or what. But anyways, again, I went wide. I didn't really know he had another swords in his hand. There was a chance he had another one, but I was thinking more or less that he has to, if he wants to remove this board, yeah, he can swing in and deal, say, 2 damage to a Pascal, quest, deal 2 damage to Pascal, but I still have all these guys on the board. Maybe he can come in with a Simba and swing and an aerial, but again, that means he's getting no lore and he's just dealing with the board presence. Not really dealing with, questing and gaining lore. So in essence, I'm just winning on that victory. So in essence, it won't really matter much because he's also going to just use Rapunzel to heal up this aerial. I think it's this turn or next turn. He's just going to also heal this aerial, removing all the damage that's on it. So that way, of course, he can be perfectly fine. Anyways, he's going to then deal 1 damage off the Hans. He's going to sing the swords here. And yeah, there goes my entire board as Mario laughs about everyone dying. As I accidentally do pick up my lantern here, my opponent thankfully does catch the fact I do for some odd reason pick up my lantern. But yeah, I'm pretty much as you just saw. My board's gone. My board is completely gone. This is just the power of why I say this deck. This matchup might almost be, thinking about it, impossible for this deck to win. There's a slight chance you can do it if your opponent happens to brick and doesn't see any of their pieces. But it's not great. So anyways, I'm just going to put out a hey here, and I'm just going to put out a Rapunzel after I put out another lantern, and that's pretty much all I have. There's nothing I can really do. Yeah, sure, I could leave the Rapunzel in hand and then utilize the next turn. I think I had it in hand at one point off one of my draws, and I thought about healing up my Stitch, and maybe that would have probably been the better option. Yeah, maybe, but I'm not sure when I drew it. I may have drawn it for turn. But nonetheless, here we go for, of course, his Rapunzel to heal his aerial. Then he just draws 2. The Vantage, everyone, the Vantage. And now he's going to sing the aerial again. There goes, hey, 2 damage to Rapunzel. And then he's just going to do another damage. No, then he's going to fire the cannons. Then he will fire the cannons. And then there goes Rapunzel. And then he's just going to quest. And yeah, I have no way to win that. And I scoop it up. So that is the end of that. I don't see any way I could have played that any better. Maybe you all watching it see something I could have done completely different. But the problem is, like I said, now thinking about it, this might be impossible for this deck, for my deck to win against Steel. Now, it's not fully impossible because my opponent could brick, my opponent could miss something, he couldn't find the pieces he needs, hard to believe it, but maybe he did. Maybe it happens. Maybe I get very lucky and I immediately just aggro right out of the board. But when this deck just runs out of fuel and when its board is gone, this deck has a hard problem of building up its board. Now, I would say I think Ruby is unfavorable because the fact that you can win before your opponent has 7 ink, depending on which version of Ruby they're playing. If they're playing Ruby Ramp, which is using the Sapphire engine, you might not be able to win before they get 7 ink because of the ramping engine. And, Mother, Grandma, and then One Jump Ahead, Mickey Mouse, Get a Clue. So not easy there. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed my suffering at the hands of Amber Steel. I think Eric here went all the way to the top table at the end of the last round, but I'm not 100% sure if he won it. Or I think Moonrose was also undefeated after round 4, and I think he brought Emerald Steel using Magic Carpet to just mill your opponent's hand away. really good against Amethyst because of Amethyst's draw engine. So being able to constantly just remove their cards with a whole new world, and then Emerald's engine of do it again to get it back and then do it again. Yeah, very annoying. Cool deck though, neat concept. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the game as a whole. What do you think I could have done better? What did you see that I didn't see? What plays would you do? Was I just absolutely losing the entire game? Let me know down all that in the comments. Again, any gameplay video that hits 10 likes, and I will do more gameplay commentary over Mario's Luxury Lorcana Locals scene, and then and I will do more of those videos for you. 10 likes on any of these gameplay videos, and I will start doing that for you, since you all seem to really want more Lorcana stuff. But while you're clicking the like button, also make sure to click the subscribe button and make sure to ring the bell so you get notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG.